That's Sison. Right on the hillside, right below where those poles are, is where they dedicated Mongolia for missionary work. Elder Neil Maxwell. It's in 1993, and it steps up to Sison. And although it's very smoky because it's winter time and a lot of the people are burning coal in their gears, this will give you a feel for UB, Ulaanbaatar. There's the bridge we came across. This is now the west side, and out to where they have all the power plants. View outside our window looking west. It's not as smoky as it is in the morning after the gears have burned their coal all night. Lots and lots of cranes you'll notice around the city. You can see on the heating plants. The Bionzerk Building is a large building, 44,000 square feet, 5 stories, and a basement in the main building, and 3,500 square feet in the outbuildings, garages, and other facilities. It was 5 years in construction. And has 470 tons of steel in the building. It's reputed to be, and probably is, the best building in all of Mongolia. The building products came from all over the world, from the U.S., from Asia, Russia, China, Europe, Australia. The contractor was Russian on the building, along with Mongolian and Czech contractors. It houses the mission home, the mission offices, the distribution center, and the service center, and 3 branches, along with the entire basement floor, in addition to all of the mechanical, is the headquarters for CES for the church here in Mongolia. In late fall, early fall, we had a open house where everybody received the red carpet treatment. We had choirs, we had exhibits by the Boy Scouts, by Humanitarian. We had a great open house with over 2,000 people in attendance. As we enter the building through the double doors, we come into a beautiful and spacious foyer and move from there into the largest and most spacious chapel in any of the chapels we have in Mongolia. We house 3 branches here, and it has the seating capacity with overflow of over 250 people. We have a training facility in the basement for CES, 2 large stairwells on either end of the building, and an elevator that services everything from the basement to the 5th floor where the mission home is at. On the 5th floor we have a women's dorm for our incoming missionaries. We can house 6 sister missionaries here, and as you would suspect, they have more shower facilities, laundry facilities than the young men have. 6 women, 3 sinks, just barely enough. In the men's dorm we have 10 beds. We have 2 sinks. We have laundry facilities for them also, and half the shower facilities. Both dorms have microwaves and refrigerators. Across the hall from the men's dorm is a training facility that we use for training our missionaries. The heating plants in the distance is the big Russian palace just down the street from the mission home, where they do all of the sumo wrestling. And you'll notice how quickly we're moving That's because from noon until 8 o'clock at night on Peace Street there are so many cars. So there's absolutely no regard for crosswalks for the people. Now they're trapped and no one cares. Oh, there we go. UB Hotel. And what's next to it there, that boat?
Next, that's in Communist Party.
That's a Communist Party building right there. Yeah, but that's the Opera House. They never put very many people on the buses here. Unless you call them sardine cans. This is one of the reasons why we don't like our missionaries to ride the buses. We've had a couple of them pickpocketed by 13, 14-year-old girls. This is the big Parliament building. Central Post Office. Right next to Civic Theaters, where we came when we first got here for theatrical productions. This is the Mongolian president's house. Kind of like White House in America. This is the Russian embassy. They still have a very noticeable presence here in Mongolia. Famous Building 7, where an entire stairwell at one time was had by all the senior couples used to stay here. 3 cute little kids. Not very impressive, but that's the American Embassy right there. This is the Mercury Market. We're just going to walk in here. The outlying areas do not have anything like this. Always very personable clerks here. Oh. Yeah, always personable. The ever-present candle. This is not bad this time of year, but in the summertime, the white ones are always from Russia. The brown ones are a little more expensive. And they're from fresh from UB. Ice cream year-round. Some of our best ice cream is from Russia, and it comes in bags. Yogurt year-round. Boxed milk. Their breads are wonderful. Fresh baked, whole wheat. This is Mare's milk, very famous over here. And once you get outside of UB, they're not all this abundant with product. Now this is one of the little stores that's the kind of store most of your kids will shop in. Very famous state department store. It's the really only department store in the entire of this country. Beautiful big 5-story building. Really pretty well stocked. You'd be surprised. They call this the Untitled or Peace Bridge. It's one of the few big bridges that we have in the city. This is the Tool River that flows right down through the middle of town. Of course, all frozen this time of year. This is the old mission office where we used to be before we moved into the new Bionzerk Building. People make a living out of here. Uh-oh. There's the power plants that generate the power and the hot water that heats the city and has the power, electrical power for them. Got missionaries in this big complex. Meeker and a bus stop. Just a crosswalk that no one uses. They'd rather take their chances with the traffic. This is some very reliable transportation here in UB. This is one of our buildings that has missionaries in it. This is what things look like in the Songan branch. This is a typical Gare district. Reasonable number of little shack-type homes that are pretty nice, and then more than just a couple of the Gares. All usually with a little bit of a fenced yard to try and preserve a little degree of privacy. People get their water in the Gare districts. They go with their little carts and get them and bring it back. Very smoky, but not as bad as it will be in January and February. When it's really cold and everybody's burning a lot of coal. So you can see that a lot of these buildings now, a lot of these Gares don't have any smoke coming out of the chimneys because they're not really burning a lot of coal. Not keeping them very warm, even though I would guess right now it's probably 20 to 25 degrees outside. A lot of the major intersections, we have all the men lined up selling coal out of the back of the truck. That's what they'll use to heat the Gare. Them all lined up selling bags of wood. That's what they'll use to heat their Gares.
This is our area up there. Bianca.
if your missionary is called to serve in the Untitled branch, this is what the Untitled, a lot of the Untitled branch looks like. Cemetery, and it is huge. It's a part of the Untitled branch. It's on the north side of UB. And this is all cemetery. The satellite that's right outside the building, and you'll notice the angle that it's facing. Looks like it's into the ground. That's the angle it has to be on for us to get reception. Lodges for the buildings with the air conditioning for the Bionzerk building. Building from the courtyard. This is where the chapel is located. And the windows of the service center on top of that. This is the new Songen building. Still under construction at this filming. One of the two-story buildings that you will see. Here they are going into the building. This is what they call a shopping center, obviously. And we're on the top floors. Town, we have the central building. This was the original building that the church had. It's kind of buried down in the part of the city. Out here it's Sunday morning, so let's walk in and see what we got waiting for, shall we? There's a general open area here and stairs that go up to the second level. Main reception area, then we go downstairs. There's where we've got our little primary taken care of in there. Now if we go in and upstairs, next level, this is where our British Prison's office is at, and then up to yet another level to the Priesthood Room.